Hello students, welcome to this 15th lecture of the oscillation chapter. Now students, we are proceeding the next part of this oscillation chapter. Now students, we are going to see the part simple pendulum. So first of all, we will see the simple pendulum. What does it mean? And you can see the diagram of the simple pendulum on your screen. So as far as simple pendulum is concerned, it is an ideal simple pendulum is a heavy particle suspended by a massless, inextensible, flexible string from the rigid support. So this is the definition of the simple pendulum, or in other words you can say a simple pendulum is a small heavy sphere called as bob also suspended by a light and inextensible string from a rigid support. So as you can see student, so in the diagram of simple pendulum we can see the rigid support is given at the top of the diagram, you can see, which has been lined by the small lines, that is the rigid support, and to which a massless inextensible string is connected, and to that string there is a bob to which we can also call as a spare is connected. So this is the arrangement for the simple pendulum. This is the construction of the simple pendulum. Now we will see the further part. Now students, the distance between the point of suspension and the center of gravity of a bob is called length of pendulum. So the length of pendulum is nothing but the distance between the point of suspension, which is suspended at the rigid support, and the center of gravity of that bob. This is nothing but the length of pendulum. Now students, let m be the mass of the bob and t be the tension in the string. The pendulum remains in equilibrium in position OA. Means you can see the pendulum will remain in equilibrium position along the line OA, as you can see in the diagram, which is the middlemost line. Now students, to this arrangement we are going to apply one case. Suppose a pendulum is displaced through a small angle theta, as you can see in the diagram, and released from that point, then it begins to oscillate on either side of the mean, or you can say equilibrium position, in the single vertical plane. Now student, you maybe understand that if from the point B we just leave that bob, now what will happen? That point where that bob will start oscillate from to the either side of that equilibrium position. Now the bob will start performing SHM about its mean position for a small angular amplitude theta. Now in the displaced position, two forces are acting over the bob. The first one force is the force T dash, you can see in the diagram, due to the tension in the string directed along the string toward the support. So directed toward the fixed support, that is the force T dash. And the second one force is student weight mg, which will be directed toward the downward direction. So these two forces will be acted on that bob and over that spring. Now you can see. Now student, as far as the extreme position of that bob is concerned, so there will not be any force along the string, but the component of mg can only be balanced by the force due to the tension. Means that bob possessing the component mg will be get balanced by the mg, now balanced by the force due to the tension. Now thus the weight mg is resolved into two components. Again student, the force mg will be, the weight mg will be against resolved into two components, which you can see in the diagram. The first one component is the component mg cos theta along the string. Mg cos theta will along the string, as you can see students, means it is collinear, that is mg cos theta. Now the second one force, you can see student, it is the component mg sin theta, which is perpendicular to the string. Means it is the restoring force acting on the mass m, tending to return it equilibrium position. Now these are the two component resolved at due to the mass, due to the weight mg. Now students, here we can say that the restoring force in this condition will be F is equal to minus mg sin theta, which will be directed perpendicular to the string, you can see here, which is the component is minus mg sin theta. Now as theta is very small, so as you can see the theta is too small here, when the mg component has been resolved, then you can see there the theta component is very small, and maybe you can say that it is less than the 10 degree. So that force will be nearly equal to minus mg theta only. Okay student, so it will be nearly equal to the minus mg value of theta. Now we can say the small angle theta is equal to x by L. So student, this can predict from the diagram that the theta is equal to x by L. Now if we use this value in the above equation, then we will get that f is equal to minus mg x by L. So instead of theta we have put the value of theta, then we will get the f is equal to minus mg x by L. So we can say that as m, g and L are constant, mass is constant, gravitation force that is 9.81 is also constant, and length of that string to which bob is attached, it is also constant. So force will be directly proportional to the minus x, as you can see. Now students, thus for a small displacement, the restoring force is directly proportional to the displacement, and it is oppositely directed. That's why the force is equal to directly proportional to the minus x. Minus x indicate the oppositely directed. Now hence the bob of a simple pendulum performs the linear SHM for a small amplitudes, from that the equation number that which we have derived. Now the period t of the oscillation of the pendulum can be given as we know that the time period the omega is equal to 2 pi by t. So by rearranging, t may be also written as 2 pi by omega. Thus the 2 pi by we can write in the denominator root of acceleration per unit displacement. Thus by using this term into this above equation, that is f is equal to minus mg into x by L, so we can write as force is also equal to ma, which will be equal to minus mg x by L. So m will get cancelled, so the remaining term will be a is equal to minus g into x by L. So this may after rearranging, this may be also written as a by x is equal to minus g by L. So now substituting this value in above equation, which was we have used to calculate the time period, will be formed as t is equal to 2 pi root of L by g. So this is the equation for the calculation of the time period of the simple pendulum. Now students, we will learn about the seconds pendulum. So as far as seconds pendulum is concerned, a simple pendulum whose period is 2 seconds is called as the seconds pendulum. Means the pendulum having a pendulum which possesses the period of 2 seconds, that pendulum is called as a seconds pendulum. So we can say that the period of the pendulum of the general pendulum, it is t is equal to 2 pi by root of L by g. But for the second pendulum, the time period is 2, so the 2 will be equal to 2 pi of root of ls by g. So the ls is nothing but the length of the seconds pendulum. Now we can also write it as the ls is the length of seconds pendulum. So having period t is equal to 2 seconds, so the length of the seconds pendulum will be g upon pi square. So this is the length of the seconds pendulum that we have derived now. Now students, we will be discussing about the angular SHM and its a differential equation. So as you can see in the diagram that the metallic disc is attached to the centrally to a thin wire, means hanging from a rigid support. If the disc is slightly twisted about the axis along the wire and released, it performs the rotational motion partly in clockwise and anti-clockwise sense. Such oscillations are called as angular oscillations or a torsional oscillations. So students, can you guess that why that twisted disc will come again in the same direction, means in the opposite direction? It is because of just the restoring torque which has been restored into that wire. So the disc will come again in opposite direction than that of the first, in which it has twisted. Now this opposite to the angular displacement, this is always opposite to the angular displacement. If its a magnitude happens to be proportional to a corresponding angular displacement, we can call the motion to be an angular SHM. Now students, as you can see, thus for the angular SHM of a body, the restoring torque acting upon it for angular displacement theta will be torque which will be directly proportional to the minus theta. So the torque will be again is equal to the minus c into theta. So c is the constant of proportionality, the restoring torque for an angular displacement. If I is the moment of inertia of a body, the torque acting on the body is given by tau is equal to I into alpha. Tau is nothing but I into alpha, where alpha is the angular acceleration. Using this equation we can using this equation in above torque value, then we will get I alpha will be is equal to minus c into theta. So instead of alpha, we can give as alpha is nothing but, student, you can get angular acceleration. So this angular acceleration alpha can be also written as d square theta upon dt square. So I d square theta upon dt square plus c theta is equal to 0. So this is the differential equation for the angular SHM. From this equation, the angular acceleration alpha can be written as alpha is equal to d square theta upon dt square, which will be further equal to minus c theta upon I. So this may be the corrective or the rearranged equation we can write as the differential equation for the angular SHM. Now students, the next part we will see is the damped oscillation. Now you can see the arrangement. The rigid support is at to which the one end of spring is connected. Then after that, other end of spring is connected to the block, and the block is further connected to the vane, as you can see. Now student, we can see that if the amplitude of the oscillation of the oscillator is reduced by the application with the help of external force, then the oscillator and its motion are said to be damped. So this is the nothing but the definition of damped. Now the periodic oscillations of gradually decreasing amplitude are called as a damped harmonic oscillations, means DHO. We can also call as a damped harmonic oscillations, and the oscillator is called as a damped harmonic oscillator. Now for example, we can take the students, the motion of simple pendulum dies eventually as air exerts a viscous force over the pendulum and there may be a friction at support. So this is the one of the example of the damped oscillator or the damped harmonic oscillations. Now students, we will see the next part of this oscillator. Now students, as you can see, the damping force Fd depends on the nature of surrounding medium, and it's directly proportional to the speed v of the vane and the block. So mathematically it can be given as Fd is equal to minus b into v, while b is the damping constant and the negative sign indicates that the Fd opposes the velocity. Now for spring constant k, the force on the block from the spring, it will be Fx is equal to minus k into x, that we have already learned. So it is the Fs is equal to minus k into x. Now students, as you can see, by assuming the gravitational force on the block is negligible, means the force of gravitation will be negligible on the block, thus the Ft and the Fs, the total force acting on the mass at any time t, will be F is equal to Fd plus Fs. So as we have calculated the values for the Fd and Fs, so we will put that one. So as we know that the force will be mass into acceleration, so F will be ma is equal to value of Fd, we will put the minus b into v, and the Fs will be minus k into x. Thus if we take this all the term into this side of the equality sign, then we will get the ma plus bv plus kx is equal to 0. So the value of acceleration, we can put it as the different two-term differentiation of the displacement. Then we will get the m into d square x upon dt square plus b into dx by dt plus kx is equal to 0. So this is the solution, or this is the equation we can describe, from which the motion of the block under the influence of the damping force, which is proportional to the speed. So this is nothing but this is the proportionality with the speed. Now students, as you can see the graph of displacement against the time graph. So plus a is the positive extreme position while the negative a is the negative extreme position, and those 2 points are apart from the distance of x. So on the x-axis there is time, and on the y-axis, as we have already discussed, that the extreme position, that is the displacement. Now students, as shown in the figure, the displacement against the time graph, the amplitude decreases with the time exponentially, means the amplitude goes on decreasing as the time will goes on increasing. So the term cos of omega dash t plus phi shows the motion is still on an SHM. So the angular frequency omega dash will be equal to root of k by m minus into bracket b upon 2m bracket square. Now thus you can say that the period of the oscillation can be given as t is equal to 2 pi by omega. So the 2 pi upon the entire term will be the root upon k by m minus b upon 2 pi bracket square. So the damping increase the period and the decrease the amplitude. So this is the conclusion we can conclude from this displacement against the time graph. So now students, we are going to see the free oscillation, forced oscillation and the resonance. So first of all we will see the free oscillation. An object is allowed to oscillate or vibrate on its own, means there will not be any external agency has to be applied over that object for its oscillation. So then we can say that it is the free oscillation. So it will oscillate only with the frequency n is equal to 1 by 2 pi into root of g by l, which is called as a natural frequency. So student, this was all about the free oscillation. Now we will move further toward the forced oscillation. Now students, the diagram for the forced oscillation you can see on your screen. Consider the arrangement is shown as per the diagram, in which there are 4 pendula. Student, one thing you have to keep in mind that the plural of the pendulum, it is pendula. Keep in mind whenever you will be writing in the exam, then you have to keep in mind. Now the pendula tied to string. Pendula A and C are of same length, and pendulum B is shorter and pendulum D is longer, as you can see in the diagram. Pendulum A is having a solid rubber ball as it's a bob and will act as the driver pendulum or source pendulum. Now other 3 pendulum are having hollow rubber balls as their bobs and will act as the driven pendulum. Means students, one thing you have to keep in mind that the pendula A is the driver pendulum and other pendulum are a pendula, means the driven pendula, as the hence their natural frequency are the same. Pendulum B has the higher natural frequency as it is shorter, and the pendulum D is lower natural frequency than that of the A and C. Now student, one thing you have to keep in mind that the pendulum A and C are of the same length. You can see in the diagram. Now the pendulum B has a higher natural frequency. You can see pendulum B because it has the shortened in length, and as far as the pendulum D is concerned, it is the lower natural frequency as it is having a higher in length or longer in length. Now students, pendulum A is now set to oscillation. Then the plane perpendicular to the string. In the source of time, it will be observed that the other 3 pendula also start oscillating in parallel planes. Thus, this is happened due to the transfer of vibrations energy through the string. Oscillations of A are free to oscillate and B, C, D are forced to oscillations of the same frequency as than that of the A. Now students, thus the natural frequency of the pendula C is same as the length of A and C is same. Now student, it can be also been seen that among the pendula B, C and D, you can observe in the diagram, pendulum B, C and D oscillates with the maximum amplitude and the other 2 with the smaller amplitude. So this is the observation about the forced oscillation that we have observed, students. Now we will see now the resonance. So students, as you can say by the observation that the pendulum C has absorbed the maximum energy from the source pendulum A, and while the other 2 pendulum absorb the energy very less. So thus students, we can say that the C is having the same natural frequency as that of the source pendulum A, which absorb the maximum energy, and in this case this is nothing but the resonance, students. So there is matching of the frequency of the one pendulum with the other. This is the concept of resonance. This is called as resonance. Now students, you can see the graph, that is the resonance frequency graph we have seen with the frequency and the amplitude. So students, this was all about the oscillation chapter. If you have any queries or doubt, you can visit to the video and you can see it frequently for your better understanding. Thank you so much.